What's up, guys? It's Not Your Ordinary Barber with N.Y.O podcast. Here at Clipper Madness, I got Mr. Ebarber here with me. I want to say the creator of the Berks County Barber Expo. He has judged several events. He's actually hosted several events. CT Barber Expo being one of them. But I'm going to hand it over to him and let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ebarber828 right here from Reading, Pennsylvania. We had Clipper Madness. But like I said, I'm Ebarber828. I'm the creator of the Berks County Barber Expo, which is now Pennsylvania's biggest barber expo. And today I get to enjoy a smaller type caliber show, which is going to be a great time, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So let me ask you a question, right?
Yes, sir.
Something I've always wondered. What does it take to start an event?
All right, it takes to begin to even create an event, you got to be willing to take a risk.
Okay.
You know, Jose, we've been to many shows. You're an OG like me, and we've been to some shows that are like hit, and then we've been to some shows that are miss.
Yeah.
You know, I never. One thing I never like to do is to downplay the small shows, because those are the people that took the risk to bring a show to their town, and that's a lot in itself, because that's what I did on my very first time. You know, I went to a lot of shows and I'm like, damn, man, I want to try this in my town. I think it'll be a success. We have a lot of barbers. We have a lot of barbershops, a lot of passionate ones. So I'm going to take the chance. So I would say risk and a following. You have to have some type of following, and you got to be, and I hate to say it, because you got to be almost a little pillar in your community. Yeah. Because you need people to believe in you and your product, what you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, these shows are created through sponsorships.
Yes.
And if you don't got no sponsors, nobody to back you up, then it's all on you.
Yeah.
And if you have people to believe in you, bro, I'm telling you, man, when they believe in you, they'll give you whatever.
Now, a lot of people don't realize how expensive these things get as well.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm not going to go into too many or ask too many details or anything like that. But just let's say a venue. What does a venue run you just to rent it for a day?
Okay, so I'll give you to you on my standpoint, because I don't know what they paid for here.
Yeah.
But like at my standpoint, my venue comes with tables and table covers and employees from the venue. So that can cost. Last year, we were at $4,000 with nothing. Just it was $4,000 for the venue, $3,980.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just for one spot.
Just for the venue. Like you said, you asked me for the venue, just for the venue.
It makes you kind of think who's really making the money here, right? Like,
yeah, and you got to remember, they're looking at it like a cash flow, because no venue is really ever going to give you their bar.
Yeah.
And if a venue has a bar and food, think about what they're going to make that day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's get back to a little bit, I guess, personal. You have a family, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
I know you at all these shows every other Sunday.
Yeah.
And you run a barbershop. Mm-hmm. You also run the Berks County Barber Expo. Probably as soon as that expo's over is when you start planning for next year.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you manage all your time, man?
Balance, man. Like balance. I learned a lot from my older brother. My older brother always had two jobs his whole life, and I watch how he runs and how he rolls with his family, and I learned a lot from him. But it's balance. And like this right here, I'm pretty sure you know it, and a lot of these guys here know it. You gotta have, if you're married, like I am, you gotta have the significant other that's gonna believe in what you do and is on board with what you do. Because if you have the jealous type and they're gonna have to trust you all these shows you go to, and you're taking chances and you're spending money and you're taking risk, and until you get to that point where you're gonna make money, you know, they're paying you to judge, they're paying you to host, and I thank God that I'm at that point now. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, everything was in my pocket, my dime.
And it gets very expensive.
Oh, hell yeah! Travel, air flight, hotels, rent a car when you get there. So like, you got to be willing to sacrifice and invest in yourself, and know that, all right, later on, this is all going to be worth it.
Now, I know because of that, there's a lot of hard times where you wonder, like, man, is it even worth it, or should I do it?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm done. I'm just gonna stick to cutting hair. I'm not gonna do anything else.
Yeah, I got like that like 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago, I took like a little bit of a break from going to shows. It wasn't a long break, but it was like, all right, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I don't want to lose focus of my chair.
Yeah.
Because I was only ever going to shows that were on Sundays, so I invested like my Saturday. And you know as well as I know, and these guys here, Saturday's a big cash flow day at the barbershop. You know, that's one day that I can never miss. So now when I go to shows, I don't stop working. Like I will work on a Saturday and I'll leave to a show Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes, what's the furthest show you've been to?
St. Croix.
Yeah,
St. Croix.
That's coming up
We did
in
a show there.
November.
Yeah, we did a show there last year, and we're doing it again this year. I can't wait. That's actually one of the funnest times I had in a while. Yeah, but we did everything. We went Florida. Oh no, Arizona.
Wow.
I did the Arizona Expo.
How's that?
Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah.
It was I think I expected more, but when I got there, I felt the love. It was a lot of love, like that West Coast love. Seeing an East Coast barber in the West Coast, it meant a lot to them. Yeah. And the host of that show is an awesome dude, man. So at the end of the day, we had an absolute great time. They showed us a great time, and I mean, it was just a good time.
All right, I gotta ask, dude. What is the craziest thing you ever experienced at a barber competition? Take a second, think about it, because it's probably been a lot.
The craziest thing. You know, thank God that a lot of these barber shows I've been to, they've been peaceful events. But you're gonna see, Jose, you're actually a judge today. So what happens when you come to these shows, man? Like you judge these shows, and then sometimes you have 10 contestants, 12 contestants, 15 contestants, and then CT will have 36.
Yeah. Everyone
feels like they won. And they did. Because they competed, they took the time out, they paid the money, and they competed, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, they took the risk. They got up on stage. They were up on there sweating. But at the end of the day, you can't give out 36 trophies. You can't give out 10 trophies. You can't give out 12 trophies. You got to give out the top 3, the best. Yeah. And I've had some crazy encounters where like people were like, yo, they hit me up, yo, Ebarber, what happened? What could I have done better? And I like that when they ask me that, because a lot of times I can't remember who cut them, who did the haircut, but I'll let them know, listen, man, remember, I'm not the only judge, first of all. There's usually 4 to 5 judges, so if you didn't win, it's not because of me. It could have been me and somebody else, or 3 of us. I was like, but then you got the ones that'll inbox you and say, y'all trash, man. Y'all, all y'all judges, I was looking at y'all work and y'all not even good. I can't believe this. Like, my haircut was the best. Yo, and that's when, like, to say the truth, I find more fun entertaining them people than the other people.
That's crazy.
Because, like, at the end of that conversation, they'll hit me back up and be like, yo, my bad, bro. You were right.
No, but that's good because you made it make sense to them. You know, sometimes,
but
like
when you
said,
say
everybody goes up there, they're a winner. Everybody thinks that their haircut's the best, so on and so forth. All their friends are cheering them, so you feel that way, right? But when you actually sit down and you break down certain things to them and make them understand, then they get it.
Yeah.
So I understand. I've been there several times too, where I'm like, man, what the hell did I do wrong? Yeah. I thought that it was the best thing, but it all depends on what also the judges are looking for. Yeah. Not every place. I've learned that not every place is the same. Not every judge likes the same thing.
Exactly.
You kind of have to do your research. So that's coming to my next question. Yeah. As being a judge for so many events, what advice would you give me or somebody judging an event?
What if you what? I'm sorry.
What advice would you give me or somebody judging an event?
Just be fair, man, because what happens is people like me and you, like, we know so many people in the industry. So we go to so many shows, so we see the same faces. And we create friendships with them, like what we call our barber brotherhood. We shake hands, we become cool with them. And then, I don't know if they have expectation, but I tell everyone, if you're gonna judge a show, just be fair, put the friendship to the side, and listen, man, ask yourself, is that truly the best haircut up there? Or am I going for them because I know them? Because a lot of times shows are rigged, and you know that. Sometimes we run into issues where, like, everybody from the same town wins, and then that gives you a sour taste, and then it makes barbers not want to compete no more. But always, one thing I like to do at Burks, if you guys notice, like, I like when you cut someone and the model sticks around. I know it's a long day and the models can't stick around, but I always tell people, if your model can stick around, please tell them to stick around. Why? Because at the end, when I choose you as a winner, I like to explain the haircut why they won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you decide, my advice to people judging, like for you today, like when you pick your top 3, explain to the other judges why you picked the top 3.
Gotcha.
Not be like, yo, those are my top 3, I'm gonna go get a drink. Yo, those are my top 3, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Nah, explain to them why those are your top 3.
You know, I noticed that when Baltimore, I guess maybe a judge didn't show up, you had me come up over the stage.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's important that you actually stick around and explain that. You're right. Because there's certain things that they may not be looking for, that they don't take under consideration that you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know, as far as design work, fade into design, but they may use enhancements in the right way, and another person may not like enhancements. It has enhancements, forget about it. You know what I mean?
And you run into them problems
You
too.
get that a lot. You know, there's a lot of competition where you get that where the judges don't like more natural as possible.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Sometimes I ask myself, I'm like, all right, we're in 2024, and unfortunately, as you know, enhancements are here, and they could be here to stay, until something else new comes out.
That's the same thing where I was just talking with freestyle. It was like 90% of barbers nowadays use enhancement. It's rare that you see a barber that doesn't have a compressor next to his station.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into consideration too. You know what I'm trying to say? The industry is always changing. It's not about just a haircut or a fade anymore, man.
No.
Competitions are changing. It's not about a design or a hairstyle. You have makeup, clothing. There's a lot of things going on, man.
I'm at the point, Jose, where it's hard to wow me now.
Yeah.
But every show that I go to, someone always does.
Wow.
I always get one wow factor. I'm like, oh my God. But the judge next to me might not think it's a wow factor. That's why it's so dope that you got 4 to 5 different judges, because, okay, like that day you said in Baltimore, I crowd surfed. I had to pick another judge. I crowd surfed, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking for the most versatile barber that I know knows how to do everything. I saw you. I'm like, I'm gonna grab Jose. He's perfect. And that's why you make a perfect judge, because you're super versatile. Like, you know how to do everything. Like, if anybody walks into your barbershop, you ain't turning down no haircut.
Yeah, no.
Because you know how to do it all.
I'll put a little kid in the headlock.
He's a badass barber too.
Yeah, he is.
That's what I would tell people all the time. I'm like, when you're an official barber, you got the license on the wall. It makes you a barber, right? It makes you a barber. It makes you a licensed barber. And they say that if you don't have a license, you're just a hair cutter. But I always say to myself, what makes you a top-notch barber? For Jay, top-notch like Jay Line. What makes you a top barber is the license, and you can do everything.
Yes.
Feel me?
Nowadays, it's not even just haircuts now. Nowadays, you got people that want hair dye.
Yeah.
Some people want perms. I don't touch perms.
That's why I don't consider myself an amazing barber, because I feel like at my age, I kind of don't want to do the hair color, because if I get involved in that, my clientele's too big.
Yeah.
So like, that's going to take up my morning.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but I leave it up to the new generation. I tell them, yo, go learn that, because that's going to increase your revenue.
Yeah. Now, since you've been barbering, you've seen a huge change in the industry. What do you like and what do you dislike about what's going on now with the industry?
Easy, man. Okay, so I was a book barber before social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been in, I don't know if you know this, Jose, but I've been in the same exact barbershop. I've only ever worked at the barbershop I'm at.
Okay.
I've been there 28 years.
Wow.
I own it for 22 years, and I've seen it all. And honestly, social media completely changed the game. Some people use social media for the right stuff. Some people use it for the wrong stuff. But social media got some barbers really bugging. Like, the whole concept of know your worth is wild.
Yeah.
Because, like, I never really wanted to put my prices up to where I'm at now. But I felt like an obligation that I had to. Why? Because these barbers were coming out of school, and they were coming out of barber school with like 3,000 to 4,000 followers on Instagram, and they thought they were celebrities already, and they were coming out and they're going into barbershops charging $40 and hacking people, Jose. But they were getting it with no problem because, quote unquote, they were like, yo, they're the new trending barber. So I'm like, damn, man, I sit in my barbershop, I'm like, damn, man, I'm like, if they're $40 barbers, I gotta be a $50, $60 barber. It's only right. I got 20 years in this. You know what I mean? So I took the chance. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna put my prices up. If I lose some people, I lose some people. If I lose it to the younger generation, that's fine. I'm trying to slow down working anyway. But I didn't. I put my price up, and everybody was like, yo, E, you're worth it, bro. You're worth it. And that makes you feel real good. But what I would say is what's, I don't want to say damaging the industry because it is helping a lot of people, but the misconception of social media.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's
a big misconception of social media.
You have a lot of people, right, that, like you said, are charging higher prices for haircuts, and they're showing it off. Oh yeah, I'm doing 100, 150, but they don't show how they got to that point.
Yeah.
It's rare that you're gonna have somebody come out of school charging $150 for a haircut. It's just not gonna happen. Nobody really explains the process of getting to that.
Hell yeah.
You don't see that on Instagram either.
You don't see that what?
You don't see that on social media either.
No.
They'll say, yeah, I'm sure $150, but they don't show you all the hard work, how they got to that point to be able to charge that.
Yeah.
Now, I understand what you said when you're like, okay, I've been doing it 22 years. It's about time I should be charging more. When do you think it's a good time for a barber to raise his prices?
Honestly, the Marv concept. Like, a lot of people don't agree with some of the stuff Marvy says, but he's on it when it comes to, like, I feel like if you're 80 to 90% booked in your work week and it's consistent for like 6 months, and people are hitting you up saying, yo, I'm having a problem getting in. Yo, you don't have no openings. That's the time. You come on social media, and you know what, man? I was the type of person where, like, I felt like I had to announce it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I announce it is because I have a pretty big book, and some we were just talking this outside. A lot of barbers don't read.
Yeah.
So, like, I put up a post explaining to them why I put my prices up, and because I don't want them to be like, oh, this guy's getting Hollywood putting his prices up. But I gave them an explanation, but deep down inside, we really don't have to give them an explanation. Why? Because we use booking apps.
Yeah.
You use booking app, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm on Booksy,
yes.
So when they book their haircut, they know how much the haircut costs.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they hit book now, they agree to the price.
Yes.
So whether it's $40, $50, $60, $70, if once they hit book now, they've already agreed to it.
Yes.
So now it's like, all right, man, I'm putting my prices up. But another thing we were talking about, Jose, is that a lot of the misconception on social media is that people are like, yo, that dude's killing it, bro. He's making 100, 150 a cut. Yo, man, the power of the booking apps is that you can get a force feed. You can be like, you know what, let me check this guy. Let me see how busy he really is. And the guy got openings the same day, and tomorrow he got openings.
Like, well,
so, all right. So now he's charging $150 for a cut, right? He might be doing 2 haircuts that day. $300. All right, so now he's working smarter, not harder. But don't get it messed up. This dude's not booked from open to close.
You know, it's very rare that you see a barber that charges $150 for a haircut that's doing 10, 12, 15 haircuts a day. So you know, it doesn't happen.
It's not happening. There's a couple barbers that I have like a utmost respect for, and that's like, you know, and the person that I really been following lately, and it's crazy because he had my vote for CT for the influencer of the year, is the Rick and Barber.
Ooh.
The Rick and Barber.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Though he's a dynamic force, but this dude, like, whatever. When I see Rick and Barber posting and the Rick and Barber talking, I can honestly say that dude's not bullshitting.
Well,
that dude's not bullshitting. That dude is the real deal.
Okay. But so what's next for Ebarber?
Next up, man, is so we got a pretty sick lineup here of shows coming up. Okay. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of traveling here, and then probably wrap it up like November.
Okay.
And then November 1st, I start full blown on my show. I won't take no more shows on. I won't go to no more shows. I probably will go to like one or two just to promote my show. But like as far as like judging and all that stuff, I'll wrap it up for that, and it'll be full promotion for my show only. My next show will be March 9th.
Okay.
Last year we broke some serious numbers. That was the biggest show ever, and I'm just looking forward to what the next show is gonna bring, man. Like
Now
we're going a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit bigger, but we're gonna go a little classier.
Well, I was kind of starting to see something. Let's talk about your show. You're the first one to bring in the walk-in competition.
Yes.
You were the first ones to bring in the Battle of the Barbershops.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of vendors, big, huge names that actually started out coming to your event. So, are you planning on doing anything different for this year coming up?
Yeah, actually, Jose, I'm actually working on a brand new category that if I can pull this off, it's gonna blow everybody's mind, bro. Like, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get rid of one of the popular, and I think I'm gonna do away from either fade and beard, or I might even do away from freestyle, because this new category I got is gonna be something kind of crazy. Like, and I know that when you introduce something new, everybody wants to be a part of it, right? So it's crazy because like a lot of barbers that do shows will hit me up and say, "Yo, E, can you do me a favor? Can you explain this whole walk-in thing?" Yeah. And I'm like, "How'd you hear about it?" They're like, "Yo, people were talking about it, that you do a walk-in. Explain to me exactly how it is." And I remember when I told my team that I was gonna do that, and they're like, "Bro, you're crazy. Don't do that, man." I'm telling you, he goes, "People are not gonna want to cut somebody at a show that they never cut before." I'm like, "Bro, you'd be surprised, man. People do want to do that." Yeah. That separates a good barber and a great barber, because this guy's gonna cut this person for the first time ever. And let me tell you, that is the very first category that sells out.
Wow.
18 people per category. I could put Jose,
I
could do 50 chairs and they'll all go.
Wow, that's crazy.
They love that category.
Walk-ins is definitely dope.
Yeah. Battle of the Barbershops.
I haven't seen you do a tag team.
I did one 3 years ago.
Oh wow.
It was a hit. It was a hit. Matter of fact, the ones from Philly won from DSG Barbershop. It was a duel from there, a girl and a guy. They ended up winning. I remember that. But that was a good. I did it once, and then I had a problem. Just like freestyle has a problem today. That category doesn't fill. I don't know what it is. I just don't know. I think it's the fact that grabbing two people to work together, grabbing two people to work together on one haircut, it doesn't sell as well as Battle of the Barbershops, where each of them are going to do a different haircut.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe that's what it is.
That problem.
That's probably what it comes down to. Is working with somebody else.
And you notice this year, Jay Major has the same problem.
Yeah.
His tag team, he had availability the week before, and Jay don't ever have availabilities. But the week before, he had availabilities.
You're still putting out promotion to fill up the spots. Wow, that's crazy. We're gonna cut it short because I know you probably got 1,000 things to do. We gotta get you on a long one of these days.
Yeah, man, it's a great time. Listen to N.Y.O podcast. Follow this man, Jose. He's gonna be everywhere all summer. This is his niche. This is what he does. He's also an amazing barber. He got a good team with him. Where are you from?
Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Look on the map, bro. That really is a town.
Y'all be safe.
And they really got some good barbers there.